See what Happy's got in the bag.
Oh, he buttered it up. Ooh. Oh, fuck it. Oh.
No good! No good!
What's up, guys? Big Guy Bets back at it again with another video. If you guys are now seeing this, this is post Sunday's games, Sunday's slate of games, and this is also after my video about Oregon State. So if you guys watched the last video, and we are now 1-2 since doing these YouTube videos. We never like being behind the 8 ball at 500, but it'll be no time until we're up above 500 again. So that one today definitely stung a little bit. As you guys kind of watched the last video, if you did, we had Oregon State minus 2.5. I thought it would come out at 1.5. This is the hard thing about these videos, guys. I'm doing these the night before all the lines come out so that at least you guys get a good gauge of what I'm liking, what we're seeing, especially, you know, when you have no idea. That's my job here, to kind of give you guys the information that you maybe don't know, and then by what I give you, you guys can make your picks from there. But I'm just here to help you as you're here to help me keep continuing to grow. And at the end of the day, try to fuck the books. Honestly, we're trying to always cash. I want you guys to always put cash in your pocket no matter how you do it. So as long as it's legal and gambling. So like I said, that one was kind of a tough one. We'll get into that. I just kind of wanted to first go over my winnable. If you guys aren't subscribed to at least my free plays at this point, this is my winnable. It is winnable.com/BGS bets. Okay. That is how you guys are going to be able to view my VIP, my free picks. All those different picks are going to be on here. Just kind of going over what we had as you see here. Oregon State minus 2.5. I believe some people even had their books go all the way to 4.5. Murphy. My dog's right behind me. He loves to watch me make these videos, and while he plays with his little toys and stuff. Anyway, so Oregon State minus 2.5. That just didn't look good. It didn't look good, guys, ever. There was honestly never a chance at some point in the game. It kind of looked good. I believe it was in the 7th inning. Well, like I said, we'll go over that. I'll get to that in a minute. We've got Arkansas minus 1.5. Very easy cash, to be honest. I mean, if you watch the game, it got really close there at the end, and I was about to maybe quit doing YouTube and gambling altogether if they would have sold that game. They were up 8-3 going into the bottom of the 9th with all their best guys out there, and they almost tripped over their own feet. So that was not good, but we still ended up getting the cash there. Vandy St. Mary's under 14.5. So one gripe I want to talk about with the books: why the hell are you giving out all these different over-unders and you're not going to pay out the cash? So this one was a cash, but I actually did not count that to my overall units for I don't know how many people actually got the cash on tailing that pick, or if they got a no action. Apparently, because they didn't play the full 9 innings, it doesn't count. But if they hit the over, it would count. And this has been a growing theme. Last Friday, I took Texas minus 1.5 on Friday, and they won by 10. But the game ended in 7 innings because that's how college baseball works. After 7 innings and you're up by 10, the game's over. Okay, the game's finished. That's college baseball. To kind of save these kids' arms, they got to go to chemistry the next day. Whatever they have to do, that's why they do the 7-inning postponement, basically. But they didn't hand out any of the cash on this under because the game finished in 7 innings. It was 10-0 Vandy. Well, technically they could have scored however many runs the last few innings, but obviously the game ended, so they weren't able to actually justify that. But when you are a sports book and you care about your consumers, this is the second time this has happened to me in a matter of 2 weeks since the season starts. Bovada's going to lose a very valued customer since I was 19 years old if they don't figure out some different way to do this on their books. You have to go in adjustment to the college baseball rules. There is a time when I understand profit and all that different stuff, but you have to really care about your customers. If you want them to gamble on these lines and gamble on these odds and enjoy your sports book, you got to make sure that these 7-inning contests are awarded in a way that doesn't just benefit you guys. They're the only way that it benefits us as the consumer is if we hit the over, you do give us that cash because the over did hit. But any other way, it is just protecting the sports book and minimizing their gains, because what you're basically saying is you can put a 7.5 run line out there. Okay, so if you put a 7.5 run line out there, anybody you ever see that, do not take it, because if they end up actually cashing that 7, that 10, they're not going to give you that money because the game will end before you even get. I saw one the other day, LSU minus 9.5. Okay, so you're never going to win your money that way, guys, because they're going to just take that cash and just say no action, and then they're going to get all the wins. So that's a little teeny gripe. I know I complained about that for way too long, but just letting you guys know for the future, don't take run lines anything over 3, as we kind of did here. So after that, Oregon State, Vandy, Arkansas, another 2-unit play for me. I thought that maybe I should have taken out Oregon State in this one, but honestly, it was one of those situations where I was so confident they were going to win the game. They closed at minus 600, didn't hit, loss. Arizona money line, fairly easy. Arizona, San Diego, I thought that game was going to go under like it did yesterday. It did not. Arizona State, Oral Roberts. If you ever see 16.5, 17.5 on a Sunday, I'm honestly going to take the under. That's just too many runs. I understand that these teams can hit the ball really well and they have no pitching left, but 16.5 is quite a few runs. I'm going to take the under almost every time. Coastal NC State under, another easy one for me. DBU over. I don't remember who they played. It was someone terrible. They won 10-2. It was unfortunate. We missed that one by the hook, but I'm not going to sit here and complain. Baylor did not end up sweeping Gonzaga. Gonzaga is still an awful baseball team this year, but Baylor just couldn't get the job done to stay undefeated. Oklahoma money line. That one felt great, guys. I will probably be talking about them a lot this year after watching them play against Virginia. I had them plus 175 in this game, so VIP was able to cash that out. That was a huge, huge victory for us because, as you can tell, we were getting pretty beat up by these 2.5 2-unit plays and all that, all those plays. So Oklahoma money line, thank you guys. You guys look great, and I can't wait to bet on you the rest of the season. Kansas State money line, they were very, very impressive this weekend. They beat Arkansas and they beat TCU pretty handily. So I definitely like Kansas State moving forward. I don't know if they're going to be an Omaha-worthy team, but they're definitely well coached. They have a couple good arms, honestly, and then they have a really solid lineup. And then Kansas State, Oklahoma parlay. Whenever I like a couple different dogs, I like to throw. This was, I believe, just a quarter of a unit, so I'm kind of bummed out I didn't get the whole max on there for the plus 600. But still, I mean, a quarter unit, whatever you guys ended up doing, that was a huge cash. Up 6 units on that play. So that was huge. Plus 600. Anything over 200 as a play is pretty. I'm going to pat myself on the back. That was a pretty big get for us because, as you could tell, without that play, it was a really rough Sunday. So VIP still was able to cash another profitable Sunday, and we look forward to getting the books again tomorrow. Again, YouTube video, I am so sorry, guys. I know I had a couple people in the comments as well. I do appreciate everybody for tailing the play. The homework made sense. Everything made sense. The pitcher on the mound for Oregon State, the comeback after not playing very well against Oklahoma. But turns out Oklahoma's a really good team, and Minnesota might be a scrappy one. And Oregon State, fuck you. You guys are on the no-bet list for the rest of the year. Maybe not the rest of the year unless I find a really good spot, but I'm going to be honest, these guys are going to be in my dungeon for a while. It was a depressing Sunday for most of the Sunday, and I feel bad for anybody around me. So going into the game, let's just go recap this real fast before we kind of get into the week slate. So we are going to go check out what the score was. I don't know why they make it so hard to look up their schedule and just kind of look at the overall game. Okay. I mean, what are we doing? Jeez. Okay. I should probably have this up for you guys moving forward because my gosh, this is terrible. Okay, as you guys can see, 10-4, not good. These guys closed, and some of my buddies had told me that they saw 4.5 as a run line at the end of the game. Yikes. Okay, that is, if you guys looked back at the video, I said that it'd be 1.5 or 2.5. After 2.5, I did not want anybody to take it. I did say fade yourself in the video. I don't believe I actually meant fade the pick, or I just meant no bet it. If you did fade the pick, then you definitely profited, and I'm so happy that you guys did because they won outright. But I liked 1.5, 2.5 on this game. Obviously, they lost outright, so that makes me a big fat loser on that pick. Everything made sense. They almost had the same amount of hits. The errors were terrible. The timely hitting was terrible. Right when they kind of got a little bit of momentum in that 7-4 game after Avila, the transfer from Washington, had his home run, there was a little bit of positive life. And then right after that, a home run, obviously, as you can see, and then a single that scored 2. So right after scoring 3 runs, it gave 3 right back. That's the worst thing you can do as a pitcher. That guy's probably never going to touch the mound again, and if he does, I will never, never, never watch because I don't want to watch my money just get burned like it was today. Oregon State in the shitter, in the cellar for right now. That was a horrible, horrible output. They've lost 2 games in a row now, and at this point, I'm sure, yes, they're going to have a bounce back this week against some opponent that's terrible, but you're not going to see me bet on it because anybody above 300, minus 300, we are taking them the complete off. This is the year of the dogs. As you can tell, Oklahoma State money line today, Kansas State. This is the year of the dogs, guys, and we have figured that out now, and we're all going to cash from it, okay? Anything else from this game? I thought that Ethan pitched really well. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned, 7 Ks. He is a lights out pitcher. I thought he did really well. This Justin Thornton, I don't know. Who the fuck cares? He honestly pitched pretty well, and he had a 17 ERA going into this game. It's just one of those things. Minnesota, I don't know. Scrappy won the game. That's all I really have to say about that game. I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about Oregon State. You're dead to me. We're not going to talk about you guys probably for a while. So going into the slate, guys, we've got just kind of looking at it. I don't think that they have any odds up because why would they give me an advantage? They don't. I've checked every single book. They're not going to give me any advantage, but you know what? That's okay. I'm going to give you guys all the different tools so that we can win tomorrow. So, like I told you guys in the video before, Oklahoma State, I believe they're probably going to sweep the fuck out of UT Arlington. It's not even going to be close, frankly. I think that they're a buzzsaw waiting to happen. Some of these teams that just can't pitch or are not strikeout-worthy teams, Oklahoma State will absolutely dominate you because they have some of the best bats. That is why they struggle against teams like Arkansas and Oklahoma. Those teams that have heavy strikeout pitchers, they're not very good against those type of guys that can punch you out because they just cannot hit hard. Not that they can't hit hard, but it's one of those things where if it's a pitch to contact thing, especially at home, those balls are going to go out of the yard or they're going to be hitting those gaps. So Oklahoma State, if you get a good price, anything under minus 300, let's put them in a parlay. If I were you guys, that's a good parlay piece. Going through the board, I think I have what I believe to be the play. Not too much action tomorrow. I believe that this Marshall Georgia Tech game, this will show if Marshall wins, that'll even out the series. That could be a good look. If you like the Thundering Herd, they might even up that series. I like their baseball team against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has quite a few different new faces. I think they're one of the teams in college baseball that have quite a bit of newcomers. So I think it's like 75% of the roster. So something to look out there. Austin Peay for Purdue. Yeah, we're not going to touch that. And Long Beach State, Utah. I'm actually interested in that matchup. Utah's still undefeated to this point. Long Beach State is definitely a pretty good baseball club. They could honestly beat them. I think Utah has quite a bit of, let me see here. I don't actually know if you can look at their schedule moving forward. You can't. Oh, yeah, you can. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, CBU on Friday. There's not really an edge in this one. I just believe Utah is due for a loss. They're not too good of a baseball team. They played Pepperdine 4 times. That's 4 of their wins. I mean, that is a bad baseball team. Okay, so let's get into play, guys. Let's stop rambling and all that good stuff. I believe that North Carolina, East Carolina, this is the rubber match. Not necessarily the rubber match. I guess this is where North Carolina is going to go to sweep. They didn't get to play Friday, so their Sunday guy is going to be pitching. And he is a pretty lights-out starter. We'll just go to him real fast, real quick, real speedy quick. North Carolina baseball. Okay. Okay. So this is the guy that will be starting tomorrow. Ollie Johnson, or All-In Johnson. Not too bad of a first game. 2.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk. It looks like they'll probably be staffing it. I do know that they've saved quite a bit of their new arms because their starting pitchers have done so well to this point in the season. Let's go to. Yeah, there's nothing much on his career. He had a pretty good year last year as a freshman. I mean, 16 innings, 9 earned, 290 batting average. In the ACC, that's not too bad. I always look to at least have less than a 5 ERA with some of these Sunday starters. I mean, technically, this is a Sunday starter. As for ECU, wait until you guys see this. This is the main reason why we like this money line play. You go in and check how they did today, right? Or how they're looking going into this game. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new pitchers today. Guys, what that tells you is they were staffing the hell out of this game. They have no other look, so I guarantee you most of these guys will probably end up pitching tomorrow or some sort of mix and match because that means they're at the back of their bullpen. It's only Saturday, so they only had one more opportunity to kind of show out. And look here, 11-6. It was a pretty close game, okay? So you see in the bottom of the 8th, North Carolina scored 4. So what this tells me as a gambler is it was a really tight game. They won by 5. They scored 4 in the 8th. That East Carolina was trying to win this game. Sorry, it was lagging there for a second. The reason why they staffed this game is because they thought they were going to win the game. Sometimes these teams, when you see 7, 8, 9 pitchers in a game, is because they're getting absolutely blown out. They haven't scored any runs, and they want to save their arms for the next day. They were in this game, guys. They were in this game the entire time, and then all of a sudden, shit hit the fan, obviously. So they were trying to win this game. This wasn't one of those games where just throw out, Sam Bradford. This is the first game I came. Just a random guy that's never going to throw again. They weren't just throwing guys out. They were trying to win this game. So what this tells me, they don't have anything left. So you could even maybe look at an under if you have a book where you can see North Carolina team total runs. I love that. I would guarantee it's probably in the 6, 7 range. So I love that. As a play, North Carolina money line, I would assume just because it's ECU, and I do believe that they're going to be playing this game at their field in Greenville. Yes. So I don't understand kind of what they did here. They went to Durham, and then they went to it looks like Chapel Hill. So they went to their home field today, and then they're going to Greenville. So this is where East Carolina plays. So this is going to be a home game. So we might get a good price with North Carolina here. You do never like to go into the jungle and have a bet with the jungle, but I do like this play. I like the look at a sweep, especially because they play Tuesday, Wednesday. So they have a bunch of games in a row, guys. This is a situation where you want to finish this off. It could be it cannot be any sort of a look ahead here. You want to finish off the rest of this. It doesn't look good having those next 2 games, but if you at least sweep East Carolina, it looks really good in the polls. It's one of those things that you get to pat yourself on the back and then go into the VCU and NCANT. That's kind of where when you see VCU and NCANT, if North Carolina wins this game, this might be a fade spot that next day. So just another couple gambling tips for you there. And if they come out, I assume they're going to be the favorite, minus 180, minus 200. What we are going to do, guys, is parlay that with Indiana money line. The Indiana money line is probably my favorite play of the day. I do believe that it might be a close money line. So if it is a close money line, minus 115, minus 120, let's just take Indiana here and not even worry about that North Carolina game. So the free pick for this video is Indiana. If Indiana wins this game, I believe it's 3 or 4 in a row. Let's go and look at Indiana. I believe I was looking at their Twitter. We are not going to look at Indiana State. We're going to look at Indiana baseball. They have one of the best players in the country. I believe. Let's see. Look at this. First 4 guys in the order came to play. 10 for 14 with their first 4 guys in the lineup. That is a solid start, if I would say so myself. Where do we get? Right here. Devin Taylor, that is his name. Solid player. It looks like he's finally come to life. He was the preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, I believe. So, I mean, he's coming alive. The team's bats are coming alive. Let's just go in and check out their lineup and their schedule real fast. Okay. Won 2 in a row. Okay. Started off really bad. Losing to UNLV is never good, but they had a really good weekend against Cincinnati, I believe, out of all teams. So UNLV is actually a pretty solid squad. Xavier, that is a terrible loss. I mean, there's nothing much more you can say there. Oregon State, that's a good loss, guys. I mean, we fucking hate them, but that is a good loss. And UNLV again. So they came out and absolutely got shit pumped in that tournament. I believe now that they are back, kind of, and obviously North Carolina, they probably just are not an Arizona team, I guess, early on in the year. But they shit pumped Fordham. They shit pumped Harvard. Those are 2 terrible teams, yes, I know. But Northwestern, looky here. This is why we really like it. Northwestern baseball. Five-game win streak. Guys, baseball is a game where you have your highs and lows, but you really, especially early on in the year, you see these teams that have 5 wins in a row, 4 wins in a row. They lose, guys. There's never like these big ones in baseball, especially this year where all the teams, it seems like there is not one big. If anybody, by the way, is taking Texas A&M to win the national championship, you need to rethink yourself or look at yourself in the mirror. They are a very good team, but do not take them at the price it is. That is absolutely insane. Anyways, what I'm saying is there are different ways that all these teams can lose, and if they're winning 4, 5, 6 games in a row, I'm always looking at a reason to get them, okay? They had a 4-run victory here. They had a 1-run victory here. They had a 4-run victory over Harvard and a 2-1 victory over Fordham, and then a 9-3. Jeez, that was a lot of different stuff. The main reason why I like Indiana here, they're getting hot at the right time. They're going to probably pick up one more win. But look at this. They played a doubleheader today. They played a doubleheader against Fordham. The first game, obviously not the greatest, and then the second game, they kind of blew them out. Northwestern didn't use up too much of their pitching. They only had 2 guys throw. I believe they are going to be starting. They're going to be bullpen game. They'll be having a bullpen game here. Anytime that you have 3 games in a weekend, especially 2 games back to back, the reason why they didn't have a whole lot of guys throw, 1, it's Fordham, but 2, you have another game tomorrow that you have to worry about. So, and that's Indiana. But the thing is, you have Duke on deck, okay? It's hard not to look ahead, especially if you're Northwestern at a team that is kind of teetering a little bit, but Duke kind of figured themselves out against Cornell the last few games. Indiana is in a perfect spot to just snipe these guys of their first loss, okay? I believe they got Xavier, okay? They're going to have Xavier again on deck. But I do believe this is one of those situations where the spot's perfect. Indiana can snipe them real fast before they're Duke. Kind of just looking forward. You know, you have your first game on Saturday, and then you have your doubleheader, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to come in and play 4 games in 3 days. They just are looking forward to the Duke game. I believe that Indiana can pick them off real fast and keep that win streak alive. I think they're the better team. It all makes sense here. And it's the best way to say it this way, especially because this is a free pick video, guys. I'm trying to teach you the best ways and kind of take you through my mind. If Indiana somehow loses this game, you have Xavier on deck on Wednesday. That is a perfect spot to get back your money that way. If they were to lose, I do not believe they would, but if they were to lose, they are going to get Xavier on Wednesday. Because they've already lost to Xavier a couple times this year, especially close, it's going to be a situation where they want to get them back. So that's just kind of in the mind. I believe that they're going to be looking forward to Northwestern, and they're going to take him out. So the free play for this YouTube video is Indiana money line, and if it is a little too much juiced, then we are going to add North Carolina with it. But if not, though, that is the play: Indiana money line or Indiana NC money line. Okay. I know that was a long-winded one, but I tried to give you guys as much information as I could, especially after that fucking loser Oregon State, okay? I appreciate all you guys for following, subscribing, doing everything you can to support me, because we are on our way to the top. We are gonna take this shit. We're gonna take every last penny from every sports book we go to. We're gonna get kicked out because we're gonna take advantage of them this college baseball season. Don't forget, subscribe to my free picks, subscribe to my VIP if you want to keep rubbing like this. Again, like I always say, if you don't want to make free money, don't do it, but I've got you guys as always. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, and we will see you all tomorrow. Let's cash, baby. We'll see you later.